Finding someone you can trust gets results. Check your pulse. Let me clear my throat. Let me catch my breath. Let my heart bleed out till there's nothing left. It's my day to be brilliant. It's my day to be brilliant. Say it if you're one of us, the beaten and the furious, been chastised and lost for the very last time. It's all the same, believe it or not, but this ain't a game, and I'll never stop. So you better run for your life. Let me clear my throat.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 NEA Aspiring Educators graduation ceremony. My name is Cameo Kendrick, and I am the chair of the NEA Aspiring Educators program. NEA is your professional organization of union support for your entire career, from aspiring to early career to retired educator. We are so proud to lead with you. Let us begin by acknowledging the traditional tribal lands across our country. No matter where we are located, we honor America's first people, all elders past, present, and emerging. Let us take a moment. All right, so a few notes of housekeeping before we get started. First of all, this is a celebration, okay? We are here to have a good time. Please feel free to use the chat, congratulate one another, shout one another out. And if you need anything as well, please put that in the chat. We'll make sure that you all have everything that you need to have the event run smoothly. So I am going to go ahead and get started. And again, congratulations to everyone that's here.
Congratulations to the 37,000 NEA Aspiring Educators graduating from your education programs. Each and every one of you has made it through an incredibly challenging year. On top of living through the COVID-19 pandemic, you've had to adapt to new ways of learning, and you've probably missed out on many experiences you had hoped for in your final year of your programs. And I'm proud that you've overcome these challenges to pursue the critical public service of being an educator. America needs good teachers like you. Our country's strength and prosperity depend on good public schools, and it is you and your solidarity with fellow teachers that make our schools strong. Oftentimes, I tell graduates that I'm excited to see what the future has in store for you. But for this group of ambitious leaders and social justice advocates, I'm just excited to see what you have in store for our future. So thank you for taking up this incredible mantle of responsibility. Children are only 20% of our population, but they're 100% of our future. And with all of you, I think that future is safely entrusted. So thank you for everything that you're doing. Congratulations to all of you.
Peace and love, everyone. It's Congressman Jamal Bowman here. First, I want to congratulate the student members on their graduation. This is a huge success, and I commend you for all the work that you have put in up until this point. I want to remind you that going into teaching is going to present you with an opportunity not just to educate, but to inspire and change the lives of thousands of kids. You will not just be impacting the individual lives of children and their classmates, you will be impacting their families and the entire community and the world beyond their community. Education is one of the #1 pathways to make transformative change and be focused on issues of social justice and social equity, and to unlock unlock the unlimited potential of our kids. I'm so fired up you decided to go into education. As you know, before I came to Congress, I was in education for 20 years. I've served as a teacher, counselor, and middle school principal. I worked in K-12 schools in all kinds of settings, but usually Title I schools. And despite their Title I status and despite being living in marginalized redline communities, our kids are brilliant and they come to school full of ideas and full of inspiration. It's your job to shape and mold them, to listen to them, to learn from them, and to inspire them so that they can be their best selves and impact the world to make it a better place. So thank you so much for going into this amazing profession. And I just want to let you know, social justice is at the key to your work. We want you to be activists and organizers, deliver curriculum, but also inspire them to a new way of thinking, a new consciousness, and a new paradigm that's rooted in love for all people, regardless of race or creed or orientation or religion or background or income status. We are all the human race. We have to come together to solve the world's biggest challenges. And now you as teachers have an opportunity to bestow that into your students. Peace and love to you all. It's a pleasure to be with you. Stay strong and reach out anytime if you need anything.
During the week of January 11th, 2021, NEA aspiring educators across the country engaged in different actions each day to demand that Black lives matter in their schools and their communities. Recognizing that the fight for racial justice in America is ongoing work, and as future educators, one of their utmost responsibilities is to advocate for racially equitable educations for all of their students.
Freedom requires vigilance every single day. As I watch you act in solidarity through this week of action for Black lives, you, our aspiring educators, give me so much hope and so much pride. You, our leaders today and tomorrow, are not only heeding the call of John Lewis to get into good trouble. You are doing what he asked of all of us. You are getting in the way of anything that threatens our rights and our freedom and our future. NEA Aspiring Educators, thank you for that vigilance. Onward.
The road to the White House honors three simple yet powerful words: Black Lives Matter. This plaza is iconic. Like the memorials to Abraham Lincoln, and Martin Luther King Jr., it symbolizes the struggle for freedom and equality. As members of the National Education Association, we gather in these sacred places to demand justice and equity for Black lives in all places, in all forms. It is our responsibility as educators to ensure that every student feels welcome in school. Some may try to divide us, but we know that working together, we can make a better future. To our Black students, colleagues, and families, you matter. Your trauma matters. Your voice matters. Your protest matters. Your dreams matter. We mourn with you. We stand with you. And we organize with you to demand change.
We demand
A re-examination of the role of law enforcement in our communities and our schools. We must dismantle unjust policies that disproportionately impact Black people.
We demand
Investment in the physical, mental, and economic health and growth of Black people. That means addressing the ways corporations have exploited and stolen wealth from Black and Native communities and then making them whole.
We demand
That Black educator and student voices be included in decisions that impact their schools and their communities. When students, families, and educators come together to ensure racial justice in public schools, it strengthens the entire community.
We demand
Free, fair, and accessible elections. We must end voter suppression tactics politicians use to keep communities of color from having a voice in our government. The future is the sum of the changes we demand, the courage we display, how we stand with each other and for each other. Together, we can rewrite the rules and hold decision makers accountable to guarantee justice for Black lives in our schools and our communities. We will not rest until there is a future where Black lives thrive.
Congratulations, NEA Aspiring Educators graduates. This is an incredible accomplishment, and I'm excited to welcome you as my colleagues and friends in our fight for students and teachers. As an educator myself, I know how the work you'll do in the coming years strengthens our community. This has been a year of uncertainty. From navigating Zooms to helping students adjust to their new normals, you face the challenges head first. I can't wait to see the new and exciting ways you innovate our students' learning. While we have a long recovery ahead of us, this diverse group gives me hope. You represent the bright future ahead. You're going to be adding your voices to those of educators across the country, and I encourage you to use that platform as you move into the workforce. I hope that I can offer you some words of advice as you take this next step. First, know that your diversity and the story you bring to this profession will help you be a better advocate for yourself, your colleagues, and your students. As we work to break down the systemic barriers in the education system, both in our schools and in Congress, your experience is invaluable. Many of you are first-generation college students or non-traditional students. This means you have the tools to be a better educator, to speak to and understand your students in ways they may never have experienced before. In doing so, you will change lives and create opportunities for children who never imagined them, and open doors that never existed before. And for that, I want to say thank you.
And I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Yeah, look, I just want it all. Yeah, and I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Can I really have it? It's no mistakes when I start. I'm for the greats in the art. I've been shooting my shot, and would you look at the art? It started off as a spark, just doing work in the yard. Against all of the odds, I'm toe to toe with the gods. Yeah, and that is not for applause. That's for all of y'all that's defying the odds and trying to pop. Remember that the world is yours, world's course, and eyes to the world is yours. Yeah, and I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Yeah, look, I just want it all. Yeah, and I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Can I really have it? It's the start of fall, and I know the league tipping off. Hong Kong, pay attention when you get involved.
songs is the anthem for the underdog. My songs keep their hands up like the sirens on. From now on, we demand for y'all to carry on. From now on, I want trophies in my carry-on. From now on, I want banners in the Jumbotron. From now on, we the champs and the time is on. And I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Yeah, but I just want it all. Yeah, and I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Can I really have it? One time for the ones underrated. 2 times for the ones that can take it, yeah. And 3 times for the chance and parade again. And 4 times for the odds if they gave us one more again. 1 time for the ones underrated, yeah. 2 times for the ones that can take it, yeah. 3 times for the champs and parade again. And 4 times for the odds if they gave us, yeah. And I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Yeah, but I just want it all. And I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? Can I really have it? And I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall, can I really have it all? I just wanna ball, somebody I can call. Trophies on the wall.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I know that this may not be how you expected to spend your graduation. I know your whole world has been flipped upside down throughout this pandemic. If you learned something from this time, though, I hope it's this. Even when you think your life is all figured out, that all the planning in the world cannot prepare you for the twists and turns that are coming your way. You just can't predict it all. So don't be so focused on your plans that you're unwilling to consider the unexpected. Sometimes things don't go as you planned, but they turn out even better in the long run. And sometimes when one door closes, another one opens. And when that happens, don't be afraid to run through it. You are the future of America, an America that reflects our best values. I am honored to fight alongside you now and in the brighter days ahead. So, cheers to you, class of 2021.
She's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, lonely like a highway. She's living in a world and it's on fire, filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away. Oh, she got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, she got her head in the clouds and she's not backing down. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire. Looks like a girl, but she's a flame. So bright she can burn your eyes. Better look the other way. You can try, but you'll never forget her name. She's on top of the world, hottest of the hottest girls. Say, oh.
Hello, everyone. My fellow graduating aspiring educators, welcome. We did it, y'all. My name is Cameo Kendrick, and I am proud to be both your aspiring ed chair and a 2020 graduate who just got to enjoy an in-person commencement ceremony just last week. It's been a while since I've seen all of you and since I've been at a graduation ceremony, actually. So before this past week, I hadn't walked across a graduation stage since the 5th grade. One single math class. That's all it took for me to ensure that I wouldn't walk across the stage for more than a decade. At 18 years old, I thought, as many young adults do, I was fully grown. I was an adult now, and I had to make it on my own way, without help from anyone. But after failing math class after math class for years, I was too embarrassed to get help. I was too stubborn. So what did I do? I dropped out of high school 2 weeks before graduation. My own pride and shame all wrapped up over one single math credit, and I never walked. Instead, I moved back to where I live now in Lexington, Kentucky, and got into my first apartment. And that's when everything changed for me. The wall I built of youthful pride and shame fell down because at 19 years old, I found out I was pregnant. I will never forget the fear that overcame me, how much I felt like I had let my family down. But it also pushed me over the edge. I needed support from others because soon someone would need me. Just a few weeks after turning 20, I had J. Marie. She opened my eyes to a world beyond myself. I knew I had to do more by her and for the both of us. I went to classes and I received my GED in only 3 months with no lower than a 95th percentile score on my tests. I found a community and support. I found a place to live in an apartment community for single parents that were in school full time. I found a support network that allowed me to move forward and began community college with immediate access to Section 8 healthcare and food. Then Italy, my little firecracker, my payback child, came along, making me a single mom of 2 kids under 2. There were so many times I thought I would never make it, that maybe I would graduate, but never actually accomplish much more with my life. I slipped backwards and inwards, and for many years, I didn't even allow myself to really dream about what I wanted to do with my life aside from being a good example for my kids. I remember walking around the community college campus with my books and my backpack and my breast pump and a cooler. And I was looking for bathrooms that had not that many people in it because I knew I needed to be in a stall and I didn't want them to hear, and all of those things. I remember being able to only do homework after the day was done and going to class every day with 3 to 4 hours of sleep. I do know that point, though, is probably not very much different than a lot of you all out there, especially those that just graduated. I remember watching so many of the people that I graduated high school with, graduating college and finding careers and getting engaged and married while I was still trying to navigate through university and single motherhood. I let a lot of it get the best of me. I turned my back on my community and let depression take a hold. But then I took a leap. I began to look inward and realize what I truly wanted. I found my calling in helping others. I chose education instead of a higher paying job for myself and my family because being an educator was my dream. I chose activism. I chose union work. I chose spreading myself thin and working 2 jobs at times so that I had extra money to give my kids all of the things that they wanted, which is a lot, and elevate us into a home. I made the damn dean's list, okay? I chose to dream and to actively be a part of attaining those dreams. There's so much more that I could share about this journey, about all of the people that have loved and supported me and my girls along the way, and all of the lessons that I have learned. And perhaps sometime I will share more. But today I want to take time to celebrate us. I'm taking time to celebrate my incredible friends and family. I'm taking time to celebrate J. Marie in Italy, who in so many ways are graduating with me too. My mini queens, honey, they have walked campuses, they've attended classes, union meetings, protests, rallies. They have put their needs above my own, or my needs above their own many times, even though they're so young. They've been patient and understanding, my rocks and my biggest cheerleaders. And I am so excited that they've finally gotten to see me get to this point. Although my story and my journey are not like most, every single one of us have let ourselves be our own worst enemies. We have all stood in the way of our own success, but that means we all can choose more for ourselves. I'm here today, living in my truth. I know that I am capable and deserving of all the things I have wanted out of my life, for myself, for my family, and for my community. It's been a while, but aspiring educators, we're all walking now. So keep walking and keep pushing. The work we do for ourselves and our communities is never over. The movement continues. Corona class of 2020 and 2021, we did it. Now, I want to take a moment to introduce to you a woman that needs no introduction, a science teacher, a fierce activist, a powerful union leader that I am so lucky to have as a mentor, confidant, and friend, our National Education Association President, Becky Pringle. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, Cameo. What an inspiring story. Thank you for your vulnerability and your power in sharing just a piece of your journey with us. Hello, aspiring educators. Cameo, as always, it's good to be in the same space with you. Such a strong and fierce and visionary leader, our chair of our NEA Aspiring Educators. This girl is on fire. Yeah, that was the perfect song for you, Miss Cameo. And to each of you, our NEA Aspiring Educators class of 2021. Congratulations. Oh my goodness, what a year, right? I want to invite you to just take a moment to sit back, to take a breath and to just let come. All of the praise, all of the accolades, allow yourself to take in what you've endured and accomplished, what you've experienced, and how you have prevailed. This has been quite a year, right? Yet during this critical moment for our nation and for public education, you are that reminder of the power and promise, the creativity and commitment, the resilience and the resolve that incredible humans like you have but to tap in to their humanity when faced with unimaginable challenge and seemingly insurmountable odds. You are a reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the determination of those who have made that decision to become a teacher. These past 14 months, you not only had to get yourselves accustomed to doing more of your own learning in these new ways, but you are among this unique cohort of aspiring educators who, because of this pandemic, didn't even have the chance, most of you, to have access to in-person teaching experiences for a full year. Yet, you persevered, and here you are, celebrating this, your amazing accomplishment. I hope that you will take some time to rest. As Cameo said, I know you've been just lasting on those few hours a night of sleep, but you need to take some rest, even though you're young. You need that. You need to take some time to renew, to reset, to replenish your bodies and minds and spirits. But I also want you to know that just like every ending, the finish line you have reached also represents a critical beginning. To educate is to practice freedom. To educate is to practice freedom. Author and Professor Bell Hooks not only believed that to be true, but it fueled her unapologetic activism because she truly understood the magnitude, the responsibility she took on when she made that decision to become a teacher. I have no doubt, so too do you. I also have no doubt that as you take your place on the front lines of living up to your professional responsibility, your moral obligation to not only fight with us to reclaim public education as a common good, but to do everything you can to help us transform it into something it was never designed to be. A racially and socially just and equitable system that prepares every student, everyone, to succeed in this growing, diverse, and interdependent world. As we work to address the inequities, not just in our education system, but in all of our social systems, our healthcare system, and our economic system, and our housing and policing systems, all of those systems that compound most especially on our Black and Brown and Indigenous students, I know you will continue to do the hard work. You will continue to have those difficult conversations. You will continue to act, not only on behalf of our most marginalized students, but on behalf of all of our students. Aspiring Educators, class of 2021. I am so very proud of you. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. There is no honor, no accolade, no office that equals that of being a teacher. I see you. I applaud all you've already done to always and in all ways be worthy of our students. Thank you, class of 2021. Thank you, Cameo. Thank you, and congratulations.
Being a first-year educator, feeling overwhelmed, very alone, trying to make the next day better than the one you just had. NEA has seen that teachers at that level really need support, because if we are supported, the students will be more successful.
To me, the most important piece in education is the child. Being a part of your union is so important because it gives you a voice about decisions that are made that's going to affect the babies that we teach each and every day.
NEA has given me the voice that I didn't know that I had within. I get professional development. I have a community of support from my leaders, and I always have somebody that I know that's in my corner.
I joined the union so that I could provide a better future for myself, for my family, for my students, as well as for my fellow colleagues. I truly believe that we must make our education system better and more efficient.
As I started getting more involved, I saw the advocacy side of it and realized that I have so much more power to change the landscape of education.
The union has given me a voice for myself. I'm more confident in my job, more confident that what I'm doing is the right thing.
I was able to be trained to become a better educator, so I could, in turn, go out and train other educators.
It's really reassuring knowing that I already have a community of thousands of educators that are always going to be willing to help me and lift me up.
The union definitely feels like a family.
We take care of each other. We look out for each other.
If there's an educator who's thinking about joining NEA and you're on the fence, I would say, don't wait. Do it now.
It can be life-changing.
I have someone who is there to stand up for me as an educator.
In order for you to have a say-so in your profession, you need to make sure you have a voice, and the union is that voice.